Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to That's Football. It's a massive game. It's Everton versus Liverpool. It's the final Merseyside derby at Goodison Park. Boo-hoo. I am actually very sad about this, if I'm being honest. I love Goodison Park and I can't believe they're going to knock it down and turn it into houses. At least turn it into some sort of apartments and like they have with Highbury. I just think it's... I just think it's sad. I really do. But look, I'm not an Evertonian. I'm banned anyway. And yeah, but it is sad. This is a stadium that, as a young Bridge kid, I remember Goodison Park. You know, putting the telly on ITV on a Sunday afternoon, 3 o'clock match, Goodison Park. Yeah, it's one of those stadiums that I remember as a kid, and it's going to go. So... it's sad, but that's life, I suppose. Even sadder, Michael Oliver is the referee, which, you know, it's amazing that all these cuts going on in football at Man United and that guy's still got a job. Incredible. Probably can't say that, though, because probably get accused of all sorts. But no, you can say that. I think he's a crap referee. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I think there's enough evidence. I think he's a crap referee, and he's got every right to say, I'm a crap YouTuber, whatever. Anyway, we're up and running. Let's get the timer right, because that's definitely wrong. Who do I think is going to win? Liverpool. Yeah. I think today. I think. I don't know whether you saw the video from earlier, but I think with the Havertz injury, Arsenal have absolutely shot their load, really, haven't they? And they've got nothing left, and they've only got themselves to blame. If you didn't see the video earlier, Havertz is out for the season. Obviously, Martinelli's got an injury. Why have TNT not got the bloody timer up? Who? What moron producer thinks it's a good idea to not have the timer up in the first bloody few seconds? I mean, I don't know what time we're in here. You can't sink in because I don't know what the timer is. I mean, who does that? Not put up the score and timer. Oh, it's still not up. I don't know. Here we go. 1 minute and 16. Oh, well. Maybe, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. There we go. 1 minute and 28. We're just about to hit that. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Yeah, a big game. We should be able to show you the league table, actually. Just to add a little bit of context. Where is it? Yeah, there we go. As it stands at the moment, so they do have an extra point because it's a draw. But Liverpool win would take them to 59 points. 9 points clear of Arsenal with an 8-point goal difference as well. So it's basically 10 points, isn't it, at the moment? Yeah, I don't think you come back from a 9-point lead, really. Especially when you haven't got any bloody attackers. I genuinely think Arsenal might lose to Leicester on Saturday as well. I mean, I know that's a real... I don't know whether I'll do it in win, lose or draw with Robbie, but I genuinely think it could happen, you know. Nazir says Liverpool are going to go 9 points clear after today. Do you want Everton to win? Mate, I want Everton to win for a lot of reasons. It's their last Merseyside derby at Goodison Park. You think of all the history between these two great rivals. I'd love Everton to win for their own, you know, history. You don't want to lose your last Merseyside derby at Goodison Park. Like, you don't want to do that. Also for the title race, I think it would be great. But I just have a feeling that Liverpool are going to be too good. It's one thing saying Everton will be up for it, but being up for it doesn't necessarily make it capable, you know. What's your thoughts on Everton's future? Top 8, says it's Louis. No, I mean, I think it's very difficult to break into the top 8 at the moment. Everton are a football club that really should be a lot higher than they are, but I think they've made mistakes. Obviously in their ownership as well. Welcome to the club. But They're in down the right-hand side here. Terrible cross. Absolutely terrible cross that was. Have we gone through the team news, by the way? I don't think I've mentioned it to you, but let's have a quick look at the team. There's the Everton team for you. So they're lining up with Pickford in goal, O'Brien, Tarkowski, Branthwaite, Mikalenko, Garner, Guehi, Doucouré, Lindstrom, Ndia and Beto. I do like the number 10, Ndia. They've got a corner here, Everton, actually. If they're going to score goals, then these are the places that they will do it. But I do like the number 10. I don't think he'll be at Everton for long. I think he's better than that. But Liverpool, Alisson, Bradley, Konate, Van Dijk, Robertson, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai and McAllister, and then Salah, Gakpo, Diaz. I just think there's too much quality there. Trent Alexander-Arnold on the bench. I think he had a bit of a knock, didn't he? But yeah, I mean, there's a very big skill gap in playing quality, as we can see. And I think that might be problematic. Right. Pete says, good luck to Everton, but I think Liverpool are too strong. David Moyes looks more and more like my gran every time I see him. You know, since his hair's gone grey. I mean, I haven't got a picture of my gran, but he really does look like her. Rest in peace. Pickford kicks it long. Good header. Oh, here we go. Bit of pace. No chance. Of course, these games can be quite fiery as well. Hey, Phil, there's nothing wrong with going grey. I'm just saying. Moisey. I mean, his hair's a bit of a mess, to be honest. With all that money, you'd think he'd get a good haircut. Favourite commentator, says Sifo. Mate, I can clearly answer this one very, very clearly. I don't have a favourite commentator because I don't. If I watch football, 99.999% of the time I'm live with you lot, so I don't listen. So I'd have to go back to like when I used to listen with commentators, and it would be people like Barry Davies and John Motson, both of which are dead. Clive Tilsley was all right, yeah. Still can't believe Everton had Ancelotti, says it's Louis. Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? Really. And he did a good job there when you think about how shit they've been since. But look, you look at Goodison Park. I absolutely understand why they're changing it. It's an old stadium. I just think it's such a shame it's being knocked down. I think these places are, for me, I know I'm going to be completely biased here, but they are places of historical relevance, and it's a shame. But they are massive areas. What are you going to do with them? But it's just such a shame to think it will be knocked down, the history and everything like that. Watkins just realised that John Motson's dead. Yeah, must have been dead a few years, Motti. Barry Davies is dead. Definitely. I'm Googling it now. He's not. He's still alive. Barry, I'm sorry. I've just killed you off. You're not. Who do I think? Oh, Clive Everton. He's the snooker one. Yeah. Barry is still very much alive and with us. Sorry about that, Barry. He's 87 and he's still with us. Well, as of, I mean, unless something's happened in the last couple of minutes. But, I mean, that is good news. That is good news. I genuinely did think he'd passed away. There was somebody who, I can't remember who it was. It was a celebrity who died recently, and I genuinely thought they'd been dead for years. And we were talking about it at Christmas, and I said, well, that's good for them, isn't it? Because I thought they'd been dead for about 10 years, so they've had an extra 10 years, really. And then somebody quite rightly said, but they don't know you, so they haven't had extra 10 years. They were just living their life. You thought they were dead, but you don't know them. You just thought they were dead. So they haven't had an extra 10 years. Russ Abbott, yeah, he's still alive. I can't remember who it was. Well, I tell you what, this game hasn't started off as high tempo as I would like in relation to a Merseyside derby. I wanted to see a few tasty tackles, to be honest with you. But it's quite a slow affair at the moment. I don't know why the United stand is still live. Thank you for somebody who said that. I'm just going to close it down. I did click to end it. I don't know why it didn't end. Probably why we haven't got a lot of people coming over from... So if you're coming over from the United stand, thank you very much. I mean, you should have came over bloody ages ago. I don't know what that was all about, but thank you for somebody in the chat who told me, because I never would have known. Oh, it's 1-0 to Everton. Talk about a delay. God, you know you're shit if Beto is scoring, and he has scored. Well, look, Arsenal fans rejoice. Premier League title race hopefuls rejoice. Everton fans rejoice. Liverpool fans sit down. It is 1-0. Michael Oliver is getting a bit of stick from the Liverpool players. I'll have to see why. Slot's not happy either. The free kick is definitely onside. You can see. Oh, I don't know what you got to moan about. I can't see what the moaning is about there from Liverpool. Am I missing something? Talk to me, Liverpool fans, if we have any. I mean, there might be an element of offside to it, but the camera guy will sort that out. I mean, I thought Liverpool were moaning about a free kick or something. Quick free kick from Everton, and I mean, he's shit. He is, that striker. So fair play to him for hitting the target. Miles onside, goal given. Yeah, I don't really know what Liverpool were moaning about there. Beto's come alive under Moyes. I'm loving it, says E2. Cara says the ref never blew the whistle and he let him go quick. Mate, it's Michael Oliver. If that happened, what do you expect? He writes the rules himself. He is above the PGMOL. It's a funny one though, because some referees will say I haven't blown the whistle so you can't have the goal, and then some referees will say I will let that happen. Mrs. Bucket is still alive, 95 now. Says Kenneth. Who's Mrs. Bucket? And David says, looking forward to the Dublin show. I hope Danny from the script sings The Man Who Can't Be Moved in homage to Joel Glazer, says David. Yeah, we're looking forward to that. I think the link's in the video description if you want to get yourself tickets to our Dublin show, by the way. Talking of which, now that we've settled into the game a little bit, let me just remind you that it's been going around a little bit. We are sponsored by Surfshark on the show tonight. You might know what Surfshark is. It's a virtual private network, a VPN, shall I say. The favourite thing I like about a VPN is that if I'm in London and I want to be in America and I want to watch things that are in America, I can change my location from London to New York, and it gives me access to internet in America, which is obviously different to that of the UK. So if you want to look on Netflix in America, which has different shows, you can just put New York and log into your Netflix and you'll have a different set of shows. So things like that are great. Also safeguards your private messages, photos, videos, allows changing virtual location on platforms like Netflix, like I said, for global content access. There's a one suite including alert for personal data breach notifications. You can search private, ad-free, antivirus. Unlimited simultaneous use as well, so you can be on your phone and your laptop. It's compatible with Android, iOS, Fire TV, etc. And it's a special offer with That's Football. Use the code That's Football and you'll get 4 months free at Surfshark. Comprehensive digital protection package with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Grab this exclusive offer with the code That's Football and check it out. If you've never used the VPN before, great bit of kit. If you have, try Surfshark out because you get 4 months free with That's Football as your code. What is there to lose? Try it out, 4 months free, That's Football. Thank you very much to Surfshark. And thank you very much for Everton as well for giving us a good start to this game. The perfect scoring goal first is Everton. It gives everybody a little bit of hope, and it means Liverpool have really got to step up to the plate in this last ever 1-1, you shit! I don't believe it! I'm building it up, mate! I'm building it up and you've done that. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, that's it. 1-1. Forget everything I was just saying about building it up and, you know. That's that, innit? McAllister. I knew it was in as soon as it hit his head. The way he's flicked it towards that back post. There ain't no way that Pickford's getting that. I think if he dived, he would have saved it. I think he thought it was going wide. If it had dived straight away, oh, I don't think he would actually. Maybe. Shit. You did look. If Liverpool win this game because they're better than Everton, and I think they will, there's nothing anybody can say about that. But with Everton 1-0 up, you would want them to hold on to that lead for a little bit longer. Is anyone else's screen flickering loads in this game? The camera's really bad. It's just get that camera off. Don't use that camera. Yeah, one of their cameras is wrecked. Well, look, there's a good atmosphere here now. We've had 2 goals, so hopefully the game's going to kick off a little bit here. These refs don't get enough abuse, says S. Thank you very much for your super chats, by the way. We'll read those out. A lovely cross by Mo Salah, of course. That's another assist for him. Despicable says, that's my fault. I turned on the TV and Liverpool scored. Don't know why I bother. Most assists this season. Salah, 14. Anthony Robinson with 10. I mean, look, Mo Salah's one of the best players in the world. He's underrated. But can we give Anthony Robinson a big shout out? He's got the 2nd most assists in the Premier League for Fulham and he's a left back. That is fantastic. Anthony Robinson, I think I don't know whether he'll leave Fulham actually. I think Kirkez is going to Liverpool. He's definitely not going to be going to Manchester United. Just watching this Liverpool goal again. It's a great goal. It's a great header by Alexi McAllister. The angle he gets on that, I think it shocks Pickford. Where do you think Cunha will go in the summer? Cunha. I don't really know why he signed a new contract, really, to stay for 5 months. He might not go anywhere if they stay up, and I think they will stay up. I do like this Ndia, though. Oh, he's just made a right... Is that a foul? Yeah. I think Ndia at Everton is a little bit older than I actually thought. I'm sure he's about 26. 24. Well, that makes it even better. Definitely got a big move in him. Are you going to do a watch along for the live EastEnders 40-year episode next week? Says JP. I actually had this chat. I had a lot of chats at Christmas because you have a lot of time. I do. Did I watch EastEnders at Christmas this year? I feel like I watched a little bit of it, but normally it's the only time I would watch it because you sat there and other people want to watch it. I think this Ndia's coming off here for Everton. That's a blow. He's gone down. That's a blow. He's gone down. That is a blow for Everton. He's going to have to come off, and he's one of their better players. And basically, he just got caught. Oh, yeah. He kicks the ground. And I do think in the modern game, though, those sort of injuries, you wouldn't come off for that 20 years ago. I think if Roy Keane or Patrick Vieira do that, they're not coming off. I think they wouldn't. I do think. Look, I might be completely wrong, and there might be a story later that he's broke his foot, and I'll look a right prat. But I don't think players go off with those types of injuries 20, 30 years ago. I mean, he's basically just kicked the grass. It's going to hurt for 10 minutes. Oh, he has broke his foot. No, I'm joking. It's a shame for Everton, though. It's a blow for Arsenal. Bad Panda says it could be knee damage. You just jarred your knee. If you bloody kick the ground, you're going to hurt your knee. Even that Lindstrom's behind him saying, come on, mate, get up. Don't be going off for that. Diaz and McAllister are the two players I despise, says Rinse Clear. You can also save a lot of money on flights, hotels with VPN. Prices vary from where you are ordering them from, says Leper. There we go. Check it out with Surfshark. I have noticed that before. Don't ever start looking. If you want to go somewhere and you know where you're going, don't look and then not book it. Don't look and not book. Because when you go back, it will track you and knock the prices up. I've had it with holidays. I've had it with flights as well. Or use the VPN and change your location so it doesn't know, it can't track you. Clear your cookies as well, says Jordan. And I don't mean eat him. He's coming off here. He is coming off. Harrison's going to come on. He ain't injured. Well, actually, I'm just going to take that back and say, although players 20 or 30 years ago did play with injuries, I actually think this guy might have done his knee because he's crying. We wish him the best with his recovery. I thought it looked like a bad one straight away. Yeah, he's crying here. I've got a bad habit of this. I was watching an amateur game about 6 months ago, and they were doing little passes, and basically, you know, before a game starts, they do the little man in the middle or woman in the middle, depending on whether you're watching women's or men's football or mixed. And they were just doing the little triangles, and I saw it happen. The ball went to one player. They passed it, and the person in the middle sort of stretched out and sort of slightly caught, looked like their toe slightly caught their ankle, and they went down like they'd been shot. And somebody said, what happened? And I said, oh, it was nothing. There was hardly any contact at all. Next thing I know, they were going off on a stretcher. They broke their ankle. So I'm not good at predicting injuries. And I just wonder, I was going to have a look here. I wonder if he's done something before, because why would you cry? He must know. He must know. Because I've never ever did my cruciate ligament. Thank you very much. I didn't mean to say thank you very much. Thank God. But I did a couple of times come off and my knee twisted, and I thought, oh my God, and it wasn't. So I wonder if he's done something to his knee in the past. Just looking at his injury history on transfer market, apparently he's never been injured. At 24, he's got no injury against him at all. That is very odd. Yeah, the way he was hobbling off there, I thought he's got to. Surely he's done his knee before. But I don't think you can walk off knowing you've done your ACL. You can walk with an ACL, but I don't think he can walk off knowing he's done his ACL when he's never done it before. So fingers crossed, he might just have hurt his knee. You know what I mean, though? If you really hurt your knee and it's really painful, doesn't mean you've done your ACL. If you've done it before, you'll know what it is, but he's never done it before. Sick Rich says he could be just a wimp. Are you going to do a video on the disgusting Bruges-Atalanta penalty? Abhorrent. And I'm not a fan of either, says Red Naz. I need to see this then. I haven't seen it, mate. Take me to church. Do you think United will give Amram a new contract in the summer? Not in the summer, Rick. S, welcome to Members Club. If only McAllister was English, the media would be all over him. He's better than Rice. I think he's a fantastic signing, Cinema. I actually think that summer of Klopp, where he bought Szoboszlai, McAllister and Gravenberch in one summer, was incredible. I said it at the time. I've never, ever, ever, ever seen a club go from May to August and totally rebuild their midfield. It was incredible. And I also think that, well, Man United should have, look, he went to Liverpool, he probably chose Liverpool, but I'd like to think Man United tried to get him. I mean, I've got to be honest, if it's Caicedo or McAllister from Brighton, I'm taking McAllister every single day, and I would have said that before. Aguila 1-0 up, get in, the Green Army, says Daniel Sturridge. You're on a roll now. Either or, who finishes higher, Everton or United, says Christopher. I tell you what, that is a good one. You're taking either ors to a whole new level here, mate. And I'm here for it. Everton or Man United? Let me just give a bit of context to that. United are shit. No, let me give you some more context to that. Everton have got 27 points and Manchester United have got 29 points. Funnily enough, Man United are playing Everton a week on Saturday. This is thirsty work. Take me to church. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Are you watching Celtic against Bayern? Clearly not. I might put it on at some point. I mean, yeah. Robertson's had a yellow card. He's literally had a yellow card. They've just come out with a Lamborghini yellow and just given it to him. He's just said, thank you very much. I'm trying to play a game, but I appreciate the gift. You know, when I was a kid, I'm not say a kid, I was about 10. And I remember, like, used to get magazines like Match and Shoot and that. And players used to be a lot more, you know, football was very different in them days. And this is how different it was. I remember reading Shoot or Match, and Brian Robson was at Man United. And it was a whole section on him. And he was there with his car. And I can't remember what the car was, but let's pretend it was like a Ford Escort XR3i. But it was like, it had Brian Robson's name on it. It was like, Brian Robson drives a Ford XR3i from Bristol Street Motors. And that's what cars used to do. That's what footballers used to do. And you can imagine Mo Salah now driving around in an Audi with Mo Salah drives an Audi on it. People would probably throw bricks at it and stuff now, wouldn't they? Now 2-0 up, unbelievable. Get in there, says Daniel. He's loving life as a Plymouth fan. Corrupt ref, says S. Why? Offside goal for Celtic. Do you think Celtic could knock Bayern Munich out? No. Mark, can you give us a Jamie Carragher impression in honour of the Scouse derby? I'm not spitting at the screen. Does anybody actually rate Michael Oliver, says Amar? I very much doubt there is anybody out there with pictures of Michael Oliver on their wall. In fact, actually, somebody said that to me. There will be somebody somewhere that does do something that you don't think is possible. Like, somebody out there now, more than one person will be out there in the world watching The Last Jedi. Even though it's totally shit. Somebody will be doing it. Somebody out there will be listening to... Someone will be watching Mrs. Brown's Boys. Sandeep says, I'm concerned on our transfer for the summer. Anything less than 6 players is a failure for Ineos. Hope we get at least 120 million from sales. Thank you very much, Sandeep. I'll have what you're having. Um, 52% of you think Man United. And 48% Everton. On who will finish higher. Gary Neville loves Michael Oliver, says Fraser. I never hear from Gary Neville anymore. He's gone very quiet around Man United. I mean, obviously, I think he's still on Sky, isn't he? But I can't believe somebody just said Rio Ferdinand's doing the commentary on TNT. Do you? I don't remember him. Look. I'll say this publicly because why not? We're here to entertain and we're here to generate conversation. And screw it, if he wants to chat, he knows where I am. Which is what I would say to anybody. It's fine. But I don't remember Rio doing match commentary before. Has he only started this year? I don't remember him doing commentary before this season. Or co-coms. Francisco, I think you should debate Saeed TV. Mate, he used to work for me. What have I got to debate with him about? Like, we did loads of shows together. And he left. And then he slagged me off. What's my motive? What's my angle? I mean, I'm not bothered about talking to anyone, but I don't really get what the angle is on that, to be honest. Any thoughts on PSG's? Any thought on PSG's form with the team so young? Says Michael Stewart. I don't think they're going to win the Champions League. Yeah, Kin says Rio is the second co-commentator alongside McCoist. It's a recent thing. That was what my thought was. I mean, I don't listen, so I don't know. He could have been doing it for years. But you know what my thought process was? I think Rio wants to be Gary Neville. I think he wants to be Gary Neville. So I think it's like, oh, get me on co-coms. I want to be doing that. I just want to see this again here. Was that a foul by Gay? Mate, I can't speak. He's dangerous. He's a dangerous referee. Like, he's really dangerous. Well, I can speak, actually, because you can't get sued or done for telling the truth. And also, opinion, last time I checked, wasn't outlawed. My perception of Michael Oliver is there is a rule book and there is a rule book that the referees follow. There is an expectation that the fans expect, and then there is Michael Oliver's world. And in his world, it's a completely different game to the game we think. What do you think about Spurs? What are their chances of winning the Europa League? Says Hector. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say they've got no chance. Premier League should be quite strong in the Europa League, but it's all or nothing for them, isn't it? They've got to win it. Pizza says, am I being harsh or is Pickford not terrible? I think Pickford's just an average Premier League goalkeeper who happens to be very fortunate that England's goalkeeping roster is a bit average. He wouldn't be anywhere near the amount of caps he's got. He wouldn't be anywhere near it if there was a decent English goalkeeper. He's just an average Premier League goalkeeper. There wouldn't be. What I'm trying to say is, maybe Jordan Pickford's dream is to play for Everton, but Man City, Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, they're not going to come knocking. Like he ain't that level. He's just an average Premier League goalkeeper, but there's no English goalkeeper better than him. He's better than an Arna Marks as TTV. I didn't say he wasn't. But Man United aren't going to come knocking for Pickford. Thank you very much. Is Nick Pope not better, Mark? I think the problem with Nick Pope, Dean Henderson, and Aaron Ramsdale and Pickford is that really it's personal preference, because none of them are very good at playing the ball out from the back. They're all pretty average at it. We used to produce quite good goalkeepers. I mean, David Seaman was a good keeper. I think he was the last world-class goalkeeper England produced, actually, unless someone's going to tell. I mean, Joe Hart wasn't world-class. Joe Hart reminds me a lot of Pickford, actually. I think that's why Pep got rid of him straight away, didn't he? Yeah, I mean, we haven't actually. That's a good topic. That is why have England stopped producing world-class goalkeepers? We haven't had a world-class goalkeeper in about 25 years. Because Seaman was past his best in 2002. Seaman went to the Italia 90 World Cup as third choice goalkeeper. That's when we had Shilton. So for 20 years we had some good goalkeepers, but yeah. Who's the best goalkeeper in the world right now? I still think it's Courtois. But is his distribution as good as others? I think Martinez at Villa's a good shout, Durden. I do like Alisson. Oblak, I think, is a bit overrated, to be honest. He's a very good goalkeeper, but I don't think he's as good as some people. He reminds me a bit of Ruben Diaz, Oblak. Oh yeah, Oblak, yeah. And I think people just say it, but actually, I don't think he's as good as people think. Did you know 1 in 11 Everton players? Yeah, okay, Hitchcock and Scully. Neville Southall, do you think he was overrated as Daniel? No, I think he was a very good goalkeeper. Or unorthodox as well. He always looked a bit scruffy, didn't he, Neville? It was the 80s. Oh, here we go. Classic super chat coming in here. Tim Flowers and David Seaman were two good goalkeepers in the late 90s. And here we go. I've missed it now. Where is it? Oh, it was not. I thought it was there and it's gone. It's disappeared. I don't know where it's gone then now. Who's your favourite goalkeeper ever, says Rob Schmeichel. That's going to go for a goal kick. Game's gone a little bit flat since the injury, hasn't it? 42 minutes, and it's been a bit of a crap game actually. It's not been anywhere near what I thought it would be. I think if you're Liverpool, you'd be a little bit. We could be playing a lot better here. Do you think Aguero is a better striker than Lineker? Oh, 100%, Biggie. Look, Gary Lineker, I loved Gary Lineker as a kid. But technically, not very good. Didn't need to be in those days. You could be a goal hanger and make a lot of... I mean, look, his company's called Goal Hanger, isn't it? So, you know, he's not unaware of what he was. And he wasn't a very technical player. He was a goal scorer. But I think Aguero had a lot more to his game. Mark, I didn't know Dorgu has a personal trainer that helps him with his overall game since he's an ambitious player who always wants more. Bright future for him if he stays focused, says Louis. Yeah, good. Personality footballers, that's what United need. Jan Sommer is underrated, says Alex. I don't know why I thought Pickford was nearing 40 already, says Alex said. How old is Pickford? $30. Bloody hell, he could be playing for England for ages. Is the title won if Liverpool win tonight, says It's Crossbow? No, I think the title was won when Liverpool beat Man City back in December, personally. But I've already given the title to Liverpool. But I think a lot of people would give it to Liverpool if they win tonight. Parker says, why do you read all my United stand chats but never this chat? Well, I do. There's less chats in here to read. Start, bench, sell. Kane, Rooney, Shearer. Sell Kane. Bench Shearer, start Rooney. Shahin says Manuel Neuer could have been recognised as the best goalkeeper in the last 20 years if he was brave enough to play in a better league, says Shahin. And Butland is the best keeper England ever produced, says Mozza. Crossbow says, I think the problem is that Diaz is playing up front. And Love Hate Games says, I think that Onana reminds me of Barthez, but he won a World Cup. Matthew Paul says, let's not forget the great treble-winning goalkeeper, Sir Scott Carson. And Rossu says, who is the most hated goalkeeper ever? Goalkeepers that I never liked Bruce Grobbelaar. I think that was an age thing because I couldn't stand Liverpool in the late 80s. They were winning everything. I couldn't stand Grobbelaar, Aldridge, Rush, Houghton, all that lot. Steve Nicol. German keeper Schumacher. Another yellow card here. I mean, I don't know whether has anyone told Michael Oliver it's a Merseyside derby. David Seaman needed to be deported after the World Cup howler in 2002. Betrayed his country, says Hitchcock and Scully. Who do you think will get... It wasn't the first time he got done. He got done by Naeem, didn't he? For Zaragoza. For Arsenal in the... Was it the Cup Winners' Cup or the UEFA Cup final? Got lobbed a couple of times, Seaman. Who do you think will get title 21 first? United or Liverpool? Mate, Liverpool are going to win number 20 this year. Definitely Liverpool. Well, that's a yellow card. 100%. Decore. He's got to give it. You can't book Bradley and then not book Decore. He loves it, Michael Oliver, doesn't he? You can tell he loves being a referee. Yeah, it's just a yellow card, that. There's nothing... I don't think it's anything more. Yeah, yellow card. LFC Rookie says he's losing the game here. I think he is. Too many yellow cards. It's not a Manchester derby. It's a Merseyside derby. You've got to let him tackle a little bit. Matt Sells can get a world-class shout because his club mark, do you think? Says Pizza. And Aldridge redeemed his soul at Tranmere, says Rob. He went abroad and did quite well with Dalian Atkinson, didn't he? They played up front for a Spanish club. I think it was Sociedad. Jackson's out till April. Chelsea in the mud now, says Winter. I mean, that, mate, can I just say, we'll talk about it half-time. Remind me about that. United had 1,100 staff compared to second highest with City with 500. Bunch of mates fooling around. Isn't it right to make it a serious working environment, says Mike. I mean, welcome to the show, Ineos, member of staff there, under the name Mike. Either or, Peter Schmeichel or Edwin van der Sar. Schmeichel. Yeah, definitely Schmeichel for me. But completely different goalkeepers. Here's Szoboszlai. Good shot, good save, and Pickford picks up the second ball. Nearly a goal there. Szoboszlai is a threat from those sort of angles. He hit it well. All that I'm feeling. So we're about to hit half time. I'm going to talk about that Nicholas Jackson thing. It's a good point. And that is half time. And 1-1 at half time. Beto with the goal. And then a very good header by McAllister. But neither team has really kicked on since. I think it's been a bit of a stop-start game, if I'm being completely honest as well. Let's have a quick look at the stats. Oh, what have I done here? What am I doing? Never done that before. 68% possession for Liverpool, but only 3 shots in total. Not enough creativity from Liverpool for that possession. I think they'll kick themselves a little bit if they don't win this game, actually, because Everton don't really look that creative at all, apart from the quick thinking on the free kick. I think Everton would be very happy with a draw. Nicholas Jackson. Is he injured? Nicholas Jackson. News. Where's this story that he's injured then? Because I can't see it. Yeah, I can't see Everton winning this game. If you're an Arsenal fan and you're hoping for it, I think it's going to be a bad thing. Looks like he's had an operation. Nicholas Jackson has been ruled out of action till April through injury. Telegraph Football. Yeah, I think it's really interesting, isn't it? Because what you've got here is sorry, I've lost the live chat. I want to read what people are saying when I'm saying this. There we go. Sorry, I was on the wrong page. It reminds me a little bit about what I was talking about earlier about Havertz. So Arsenal haven't got Havertz for the rest of the season. Martinelli is injured. They didn't buy a striker in January. Everyone knows they need a striker. Apparently they're going to close a 7 or 9 point gap on Liverpool without anybody up front. It's just crap running of a football club. It's not Man United level crap, but I think there's a real definitive gap between clubs at the moment. Liverpool didn't need to do anything in the January transfer market because they've got a squad capable of winning the Premier League. Aston Villa want to get in the top 4, so they made some changes and brought players in. Man City are not going to win the league, but wanted to start bringing players in for their next phase. Arsenal could have won the league, the Champions League, the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup and didn't buy anybody. Chelsea need to get Champions League football and didn't bring a striker in either, and now their main striker is injured. I can't criticise Chelsea in the sense because they've spent so much money, but I can criticise them for never buying a striker. And I think it's a running theme in football at the moment that you seem to have clubs that are obsessed with winning and willing to take risks. And then you've got other clubs that go, let's wait till the summer. And I don't understand why you'd wait till the summer. It makes no sense to me. If I'm a runner and I'm halfway through a race I can win, but then halfway through that race, I decide, nah, I'm going to wait till the next race. It just doesn't, logically, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you're in a race, you're halfway through it. Try to win this race. Instead of going, oh, I'll learn what I've learned in half of the season and I'll wait till the next race. Like, Arsenal had a great opportunity, they didn't take it. Chelsea need a striker, they haven't got it. So, yeah. S says, Mark ignoring the chat. Mate, do you realise how many people are in the chat? So I probably ignore 99.8% of the chat because I can't literally read others and I'm actually talking about something. Can't wait to see Nkunku plod around super half-arsed for the rest of the season. It's a state of normality. Mark, trash Everton more so we can get a jinx, says Richard. In your opinion, is Roy Keane the best Irish player ever, says Barry. What about George Best? Mark, imagine if refs could be subbed off, says Alex. And Sunny777 says, I love Manchester and how they basically told Liverpool to screw themselves and dug that river for the city. United should reflect that determination. Oliver is an arrogant knob, says Henry Jones. Thank you very much for that. George Best was British. Well, we're not getting into that argument. He played for Northern Ireland and was born in Northern Ireland. And some people see that as Ireland. So there we go. We're not going to argue about that. I lived in Ireland for 3 years, so my stance on it is pretty clear. How is Gay allowed to stay on the pitch, says Marty. And, well, where did you get hat-trick for Martin? Freem says, anyone saying that the referee favoured Liverpool that half are blind. That was just poor refereeing. Yeah, I've got to say, I watched that game. And I think that what happens is, when you have bias, is that Everton fans won't be happy with some of Michael Oliver's bad decisions. And Liverpool fans won't be happy with Michael Oliver's bad decisions. But trust me, there was bad decisions on both sides. I don't think there was any favouritism there. I think it was just bad officiating spread across both the sides. What about the India injury? Mate, apparently, and I'm only going off a quick transfer market search. He's never been injured before, so I don't know how he knows to be crying about it. Because he might just have jarred his knee. Hopefully. What about the possibility of a red, which he didn't give? Well, I'm going to wait and see if they show it on TNT, because I don't really know what you're talking about. What would the possible red card be? I'll guarantee you now, TNT won't show any bad refereeing stuff because they're on the they're in the chat group, aren't they, with the PGMOL? They don't want to criticise referees. They're trying to stop it because they don't want people calling it out. There's a good header by McAllister. I mean, look at the cross by. The cross by Salah is good. It's very good. But the header by McAllister to direct that the way he did, very, very hard. I think if Pickford had dived, he would have saved that. Some people saying that Guehi should be off. I don't know why I call him Idris. It's Idris Gueye, isn't it, actually? I don't know why I call him Guehi. Man United, 51% of you think will finish higher than Everton. I mean, I only did that as a recommendation. Grumpy Old Heckler said, did you see Ineos' statement on New Zealand rugby? Doesn't bode well for United if that's what they're saying about the Ineos group. PR aside, says Grumpy Old Hecklers. Yeah, but I think at the end of the day, Ineos, like the Glazers, are looking to run Man United as a business and not put their own money in. So I don't think it's any surprise. They're not owners that are going to pump money into the club. When's the next driving video, Mark? I'm very disappointed, Connor. I was meant to get one out tomorrow, but I got sort of waylaid with other work, and it's just getting the time to do it. I'd do a driving with Goldbridge every week, but it always seems to happen that as much as I enjoy doing it, I just don't get the bloody time to do it, which is really annoying. Haya says accept the 330 million already pumped in, mate. If you're gonna come, then come with information. Ineos didn't pump 330 million pounds in for the good of it. It was part of the deal they did to buy the club. They have a percentage in the club for that money. They haven't pumped the money in for nothing. They get a percentage of the club for that money going in. This is not like other owners, like the Forest owner and other owners who, you know, pump money in. They did that as part of purchasing the football club. Do you prefer Yorkshire tea, Tetley, or PG Tips, says Thomas? Can't really say I drink any of them. Did you hear that Rio was slagging off Van Dijk at half-time, says Head Signal Man? Well, I think Rio is somebody that comes across to me as having a massive ego. So he's probably quite worried about Van Dijk, because 3 or 4 years ago, you wouldn't have been able to say that Van Dijk was better than Rio. But I think we're starting to get to the point now where some people actually think Van Dijk's a better player than Rio, and that probably plays on his mind a little bit. Ronaldinho was a better player than Neymar. Easily, Alex. Easily. FC58 making lies about TUS Mark. Just watched it. Says Rich David. I don't know what those lies are. And the UK should give... Okay, we're not doing that. Was Shaman Coleman Everton's best ever right back, says Constantine? Gary Stevens was a good right back for England and Everton. You're all going to go, who are you talking about? But he was a very good right back. I think he won the league with Everton. So I think if you are an Everton fan of a certain age, then you would not put Seamus Coleman ahead of Gary Stevens because he won a title. But I like Seamus Coleman. Good player. Who declared Michael Oliver as the best referee? Average at best with good friends in the media, says Drexel. Trevor Stephen, Graham Sharp, Adrian Heath, Dave Watson, Peter Reid, Gary Lineker, Neville Southall, Kevin Sheedy. Trying to think of other Everton players. Paul Wilkinson, Paul Bracewell, Pat Nevin. I feel like I'm missing somebody from that team. Oh, he's an Everton fan. He's an Everton fan. We've rattled it. But my first, if you've read my book, which is somewhere, Football According to Mark Goldbridge. If you read my book, my first ever kit was an Everton kit. So I've never hidden that. Mate, but I could name you players from all clubs in those days. Spurs, Paul Walsh, Pat Vanden Hauwe, Clive Allen, Paul Allen, Gary Mabbott, Eric Torsfett, Tony Parks. I knew them all because I used to play Subbuteo, so you had to know all the players yourself. Good afternoon, Mark, says Samuel Lynch. I would rather have... I tell you what, Pat Vanden Hauwe, he was a rough left-back. Who remembers Julian Dix? He was a rough... It was always left-backs. Stuart Pearce, Pat Vanden Hauwe, Julian Dix. They were all really rough left-backs. I would rather have 80-year-old Jimmy Page in goal than Onana. Hope you're having a nice day, says Samuel Lynch. How come we didn't get lines for the Everton goal? It looked really close, says Roz. Mate, I am joking, but when it comes to offside in the Premier League, we don't have automated offside. It wouldn't be surprising if they went, can't be bothered to draw the lines. Just give it a couple of minutes and guess. Thank you very much. How come we didn't get done that one from Roz? Thank you very much. Anthony Taylor should have been put on this game. He's a class ref, says Joseph Woodhouse. Just half times in the other Champions League games at the moment. Celtic had a goal disallowed for offside, which I'm just looking at it there. I mean, he does hop over the ball. You can't argue about it. but a little bit unlucky. But it's still 0-0. And the interesting thing is that that's the home tie. Club Bruges beat Atalanta 2-1. Dodgy penalty in that game. I've not seen it, but it was... it's going to go back to Atalanta. I think they'll beat them in Italy. Feyenoord are 1-0 up against AC Milan, and it's 0-0 between Monaco and Benfica. Plymouth are 2-0 against Millwall at half-time. Burnley are 2-0 against Hull at half-time. Bristol are 1-0 against Stoke at half-time. And Sunderland are 1-0 against Luton at half-time. And it's game of the night in an Irish Premiership. Clifton Villa 1-0 up against Carrick Rangers. Players are out for the second half. It's weird. I tell you what, I can't believe it's 9:25, and we're about to kick off the second half. It feels a bit weird. 9:30 kickoff, 7:30 kickoff tonight. Two American players you'd have at Man United, says Flores. I've always liked the lad who plays for AC Milan, Musa, and I like Anthony Robinson, so I'll probably go with those two, yeah. Is Bale the best British player in the last 30 years, says Jimmy? No, Rooney's better than Bale, for a start. Right, second half's about to kick off here. I think Liverpool go and win this game. Everton haven't done enough going forward. I think Liverpool could have done more going forward. I think Liverpool win this game. I mean, it's a bad... If you're an Arsenal fan, you must just be feeling fed up. Havertz out for the season. Whatever you think about him, he's better than nothing, just. And Liverpool looking like they're going to beat Everton. Frank says, I really believe Ineos' desperate purchase of United shares was to bolster the publicity and worldwide awareness of Ineos, the company. Thank you, Frank, for your super chat. Sakib says, just read your amazing book. Did your cousin really have 3 of the same stickers you needed, then put them all over each other rather than give you one? 100%. Fran's car. Yeah. Basically, sticker book. Used to collect sticker books for football. Panini. And he had this sticker that I needed. And in fact, he had it twice. And he wouldn't swap it, and then he unpeeled the sticker, stuck it on top of one that he already had, and then again. So it was basically the same player with 3 on top. It's horrible. Not that it bothered me. Can you do a poll if he's the best British player in the last 30 years, says Jimmy? No, I'm not doing that, because it's a yes or no. What I will do is, who is the better player, Bale or Rooney? Because that's basically who it is. Who was better, Bale or Rooney? Did you enjoy the Royal Rumble, Mark, says the boy? Yeah, looking forward to Elimination Chamber. That's not... Oh, wait. Oh, I thought Beto was in again. Watch out for Oliver. I mean, the fact that the camera is on Oliver a lot. Keno's magic. He wears the magic hat. And when he saw Old Trafford, he said, I fancy that. He didn't sign for Arsenal or Blackburn because they're not. He signed for Man United because he's dynamite, says John Doe. It'd been better if I'd sang it, but I've not been in a singing mood for most of 2025, if I be honest. Gone are the days of Agadoo. I need to get that back. Yeah, I mean, somebody just said in the chat there, some of you might not have seen Rooney play. I mean, Rooney at his best from 04 to 11 was 14 years ago. And he broke out 20 years ago. So, again, chuff monsters aren't going to know. I'm sorry, but if you're 25, then you were 4 when Wayne Rooney started his career. So anybody under 25, talking about Wayne Rooney, I wouldn't trust them. Whereas Gareth Bale's more recent, isn't he? You can't look. I said this the other day. I was watching. I said this a couple of months ago. What's going on here? Something's gone on. Oh, I just caught him in the face. Garner just caught him in the face. I thought something. It's nothing bad. Yeah, I saw this clip a few months ago where it was a couple of people on, I think it was Sky, talking about Rodri and Keane. And they were basically dissecting Roy Keane's game and telling everybody why Rodri was better. They were both under 30, maybe under 25. Roy Keane was in his prime in 99. So that was 26 years ago. And his game is being dissected by people in their mid-20s. You were literally up your mum's chuff. I can't dissect Steve Coppell's game. I didn't bloody see it. I don't respect anybody who tells me about a player that they were up their mum's chuff when they were in their prime. I'm sorry, because you can't learn it. Not every game's on YouTube anyway, but you can't. You're telling me you've spent, you know, weeks and weeks watching hundreds of Roy Keane games that you were up your mum's chuff for in reality. Nah. That's why I won't do it. I won't talk to you about players I didn't watch. I barely saw Brian Robson. Barely saw it because in the late 80s, you just couldn't watch live football unless you actually went to games. And by the time the Premier League came along and football was on TV more, Brian Robson was basically the end. But, you know, I speak to people like Ricky because Roy Keane, I saw all of his career. And for me, he's the best. But I listen to people like Ricky and he goes like Robson was better than him. And I go, bloody hell, he must have been a hell of a player then. Corner to Liverpool. Rob Dobson says, I'm not that I'm old, but I count Rooney as recent. I count Rooney as recent, but realistically, it was not that recent. I mean, Rooney was last at his peak in 2011, I think, because Sir Alex tried to sell him in 2012. We've got a goal. We've got an agony bridge coming in, but we've also got a corner for Liverpool headed away. We've got an agony bridge coming in from Channel of Chucky who says, my friend's girlfriend made a pass at me. Is it a test? Well, do you want to find out if it's a test? Or do you just want to assume it's a test? There's only one way to find out. But if you get caught out, I don't know how you're going to get out of that. That's a good one from Dom. Says, was it a 5-yard pass? Is she into football? Yeah, I know what you're on about. You just said Lineker wasn't as good as Aguero, says Alan X. Yeah, I saw Lineker play, mate. I saw Lineker play because all England games were on the TV. And I'm trying to think how many games I didn't watch loads of Man City, but I saw enough of Lineker and enough of Aguero to know that Aguero technically is better than Lineker. I saw Lineker play. I must have watched 30 games with Gary Lineker starting growing up. To be honest, Lineker's one of those players you could watch a YouTube on and figure him out quite quickly, to be fair. Best dinner party of football commentators, Motti, Moore and Tilsley, and after dinner entertainments officer Frank Boff, says Masha. Oh, Everton should have scored. There we go. That was the chance. Decore Lovely cross into the box. Free header from the penalty spot. What's he heading at? He must have seen someone in the crowd he doesn't like. Goals that way, mate. Yeah, Moyes can't believe it. I can't believe it, man. Oh, God, another stop-start from Michael Oliver. What's he talking about now? No, just to educate people, Bale is British, Wales is in the UK, says Jimmy. Are people not getting that? Okay. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Let's get that stats carousel rolling round. Who would you say is the best player you've ever seen that never reached their potential due to injury? Oh, there are a few. I want to say somebody like really edgy. You know what? I almost want to say R9 because another shot from Everton just wide. I mean, R9 has a great reputation anyway, but I actually think that if memory serves me, he was pretty much riddled with injury throughout his career. I mean, he had a bad knee injury. I think, was he 21? Van Basten is a great shout as well. Van Basten is probably a better shout. But R9 did have a lot of injury problems and yet still is massively rated because he was brilliant. But he did have a lot of injury problems. Van Basten is one of the saddest ones because he was a fantastic player and had huge injury issues as well. Lise's just scored for Bayern. They're 1-0 up against Celtic. Gaza was sad. I feel with Gaza, though, he would have fucked it up another way. I know he did it in that cup final, but I feel that the way Gaza was off the pitch, I think he would have fucked it up anyway. But yeah, it was a bit of a wasted talent. She's into football, but she's a City fan, says Channel of Chucky. Don't get involved. Says everything. Everton are coming into this game a little bit, you know. I think Liverpool have been poor. Really poor. They've just not... They've not really got going. I'd pick Pete Rooney over Ronaldo and Messi, says Keel. Well, you're a prat. Gareth Bale cared more about golf and fell off, says Constantine. Sing a little, Mark. You've got a lovely life, says John Doe. Do you always watch WWE? Need to start doing streams. And Callum, I used to be really into it years ago. Really into it. Like, I'm talking late 90s. Bret the Hitman Hart, who wasn't even in it in late 90s, actually. He'd gone by then. But Shawn Michaels, all that, Stone Cold. And then I sort of stopped for about 20 years. And then Seb quite likes it, so I've got back into it. The key to getting into wrestling is you've got to get back into the whole world. And there's no point just knowing one wrestler. And that's why the Royal Rumble was quite good, so... I'll give it as long as Seb wants to watch it, I think. Rooney scored a hat-trick on his debut for United, says Parker. He had an amazing start. Remember that goal against Newcastle? When he was angry and he just turned around and volleyed it. Issam says, which team exceeded your expectations and which underperformed? What, this season? Nottingham Forest would be exceeding expectations and Bournemouth. And Spurs and Man United would be way down than what I thought. Peak Neymar or peak Kaka, says Esto. I think Kaka's a little bit underrated. I mean, I think he was a very, very, very good player who sort of gets forgotten a little bit. And I actually think he's probably better than Neymar, but I think that would be a minority view. Rooney has beaten Bale 69%. Educated people. Trent's coming on for Liverpool. They need a spark. Would you rather survive Jurassic Park or Jaws, says OTG? Well, I don't really care. It's like if I survive it, I'm laughing. I'm not being attacked by one of them, am I? I mean, you could survive a shark attack and basically have no legs and arms. Josh, there is no new Driving with Goldbridge out yet. No. Best looking footballer has to be Beckham, says Emily. A double substitution here for Liverpool. Curtis Jones coming on as well. Psycho says, have you in fact played the game? Have I played football? Yes, I think we've all played football, haven't we? Do I remember Dean Ashton? Yeah. He had injury problems, didn't he? Michelangelo says that the referee is absolutely pathetic. Wayne Rooney, street soccer after school. Street striker after school, says Stan. I'd be disappointed if I was a Liverpool fan tonight. You've got a great opportunity to go 9 points clear. And they've just not got going. Now, obviously, some of that has to be down to Everton's work rate. But lovely play by Diaz. Oh, what a run. Oh, and then he loses it. But McAllister, and then gives a foul on Diaz. Lovely run by Diaz, but then ends up giving a foul. Yeah, it was a foul. Yeah, it's not been good by Liverpool, and I think that's why he's trying to get Trent on, because they could do with a bit of creativity. Gravenberch going off for Curtis Jones. Bradley will be going off for Trent. He's going, isn't he? There's just no way he's not going to go. Nikki VTech says it's not good due to the Everton tactics and Oliver facilitating it. Hi Mark, Patrick would like to know what you think would be a successful remainder of the season for him personally with United, says Patrick Dorgu's dad. Play at left back every single game. Was that a handball by Canate? I've seen him given. I've definitely seen him given. I've also seen him not given. I don't understand the handball rule anymore anyway, and that's not through lack of knowledge. That's just through inconsistency over the last 5 years. I think it's impossible to know what a handball is and what isn't. It's just so subjective and inconsistent. That's why I say I've seen him given and I've seen him not given, you know? That's why I said it. Everton have been better in the last 20 minutes though. I mean, they could win this still. I didn't think I'd be saying that at half time. Yellow card. Curtis Jones. Yeah. I mean, he's out of control. He's reckless. His studs are up. As I said, I've seen him given as a red. I don't think it is a red. I don't think you want to see a red for that, but it ticks a lot of the boxes. Evening, Mark. Amazing watch-along as always. Biscuit poll, custard cream or jammy Dodgers? Do you remember sports biscuits? I'm going to remember them because I'm going to have a look. No, Fox's sports biscuits. Oh yeah, I do remember them, yeah. They had all like the archery and stuff on, didn't they? Yeah, I remember them, yeah. Basically malted milks. Yeah, good call. Jammy Dodgers or custard creams? I'd say if it's proper jammy Dodgers, you know, the jam in it was quite chewy. But I don't like them ones with the sprinkling of the sugar on the top that you get in the cheap biscuits. Who's the dirtiest player you've ever seen, says Rob. I mean, Vinnie Jones was almost deliberately dirty. I often thought when I used to watch Wimbledon, he's literally there to foul people. I don't remember Vinnie Jones like thinking, oh, he's got a good passing range, or you know, he's a good, you know, he's a good dribbler. He's got a good shot on him. I think he was just genuinely dirty. Here's Diaz in the box. Oh, Liverpool want a penalty there. He has gone down. And they've given a foul against a Liverpool player. He's, again, losing control. Losing control. I mean, it didn't look like a penalty. No. No, I mean, that would be soft. I mean, VAR might look at it, but that would be soft. Should watch the film Nosferatu. Mark, it's great. A remake of 1920 film, says Brian Dale. Yeah, I do like my films. The Order, I watched at the weekend on Amazon Prime. I really enjoyed that. Currently watching, got one episode to go of that Black Hawk Down documentary on Netflix. You can't ruin it because I've seen the film, but I will be watching the film again afterwards. But yeah, enjoying that. Cross into the box. Good headed by Van Dijk. They need to get the second ball. And Doucouré's got it. And that'll be a corner to Everton. Rub says Nosferatu was crap. Comedy. The media shoving it down our throats that Oliver is the best referee in the country is tiring and only adds fuel to the fire. He's woeful, says Shane B. Why, is that what they're saying on the telly? I mean, if they're saying that on TNT... that will be a piece of paper that's been handed down from the producer to say, talk up Michael Oliver. Dirtiest tackle I've ever seen was Keane's on Haaland. Well, it is one of the... You're right. It is one of the worst tackles, Constantine, because, as we know, he did it... It wasn't even a tackle. It was an assault. And he admitted it was. Offside, Everton. That goal always felt like it was not going to be a goal. But I need to see it again. Offside for Everton. Yeah. Branthwaite's not offside, but the guy, the number 15, O'Brien, almost fouls Van Dijk anyway, but definitely was offside. No complaints there. Definitely offside. Someone in the chat asked if Ronaldinho is comparable to Neymar. If he had Messi or Ronaldo's longevity, we'd be having a whole different conversation, says Hamlet. Ronaldinho is one of my favourite players. Like, great player. I don't know why we're getting so many replays on that. It was offside. No, I'm saying it because of Neville a few weeks ago, says Shane B. Oh, yeah. What position did you play back in the day? Says Sifo. Is this football or something else? Football, I played quite a few positions, really, because I played for quite a few teams. Man, I mean, I even used to, sometimes I'd play up front, which was probably the only position I never used to play was goalkeeper, but I would play goal because I quite enjoyed it sometimes. I played left back, centre back, holding midfielder, left wing. That was predominantly where I played, yeah. Mark, another great W2 series is Generation War. This is OTG. This game's not as good as it should be, you know. What level did you play at when you were younger? Decent or not? Says Daniel Sturtridge. Check the Argyle score. Green Army. Well, I can check the score. Bayern a 1-0 up against Celtic, by the way. That Elise goal. Plymouth are 4-0 up against Millwall. They're giving in a right good beating. Which iconic match would you go and watch live? I mean, I'd love to go and watch the Man United game in the Nou Camp against Barcelona live. I'm not saying it would have been the best game ever, but as a United fan, you'd want to be there. Another free kick here for Everton. McAllister's not happy about it. Again, I do think it is a free kick, to be fair. Slot's getting very angry. Oh, sorry, I didn't answer the question about level. So I played in a very good school team and we won absolutely everything. I played in a very good Sunday team and we won absolutely everything. I played in a shit Saturday team, but I just liked playing football. And I ended up with Oh, hold on. Tarkovsky. Over the bar. Not Tarkovsky. Got it to Decore. That's two shit misses from Decore. The header and that. Had trials at Northampton and Peterborough. But I think everybody had trials. I don't really hold that as a... Loads of people had trials. The amount of people I speak to and they're like, I was on the books for Wolves. I was on the books for Sheffield Wednesday. I just think everybody must have had a trial. Oliver's shocking. Worst referee ever, says Petco. I think Liverpool are going to come out of this game and feel this is 2 points dropped. And I'm not going to knock Everton's work rate, but I just feel for the quality of player that Liverpool have got, they've not really done enough. And I think that's going to be borne out by the stats when I show you. Look. They've had 3 shots to Everton's 7. They haven't had a shot in the second half. That was their half-time stat. Three shots, 2 on target. It's been poor from Liverpool. Now, obviously, you can talk about the referee, etc., but I'd still expect Liverpool to be creating chances. Omar says, I became a United fan because of the United stand. That's amazing, mate. I'm biased, but I do think the United stand is... The amount of people who've said to me, oh, I'm an Arsenal fan or I'm a Chelsea fan, I wish the United stand was like the Chelsea stand. Which I sort of get. It's just a great community of like conversation. And there's not a lot of people that talk about football in that way. Like passionately care, but honest. Second ball, here we go. Nunez, Curtis Jones, cleared off the line. There it is. Salah. I thought Everton had got away with it, but it's mad, isn't it? Sometimes I wish I'd just keep my gob shut. Liverpool haven't had a shot on goal in the whole second half. They'll be really disappointed with themselves. 60 seconds later, 2-1, 9 points clear at the top of the league. Forget about it. Yeah, that's it. Title's over. Forget it. Salah, goal and assist. Been quite quiet. It's a lovely ball. Well, it's not a lovely ball. It's the second ball. O'Brien's too slow to that. Curtis Jones shot. Branthwaite does quite well because it was probably going to go in. I think this was going in. I think Branthwaite does well. Some people are saying he got in the way of Pickford, but that would have gone in. Salah to score from there as well. Branthwaite does a good job heading it away, but player of Salah's quality there puts it in the bottom corner. I don't think you can knock Everton there, but Branthwaite stops a goal with the header. Pickford might be a bit pissed off with Tarkowski actually for not clearing the cross. Mr. Warzaloo says, I feel like two-footing United players after the leaks. Look, I'm not really at liberty to say this, but I will. Obviously, I speak to people and I asked about the leaks. And obviously, I haven't spoke to every player, but what I got back is complete nonsense. There's no conversation about tactics or anything like that going on. Jordan C says, Milan are screwing my bet. If you could take one player from Forest for United, who would you take? Says Jack. I think I'd probably take one of their centre-backs. I think that, is it Murillo and Milinkovic? Been very impressed by them. Most people would think I'd take Gibbs White or Elanga, but Hector says, I'm a Spurs fan, but I love the United stand. What do you have for Spurs, though? Expressions, who obviously is talented, but quite distinctive in the way that he does things. I'll be honest, I would know people more from 3 or 4 years ago than today. I don't know. I got myself in trouble last time because I said, do Chelsea have anything? I just don't know. Like Arsenal, all I'd know is AFTV. There's probably new kids on the block now. Liverpool, Red Men. Even with United, I'd still be talking. Well, they're not even called full-time Devils anymore, are they? But there's probably shitloads. North Brace, you hate Liverpool so much. I don't hate anybody, mate. It's not about hate. I said Liverpool were going to win the league back in December. I know they're going to win the league. It's just rivalry. I mean, Liverpool fans feel the same about Man United. Like, there's a deep-seated respect there, but it's obviously layered with dislike and wanting them to lose at every opportunity. I don't hate anybody, and I certainly don't hate any football club. I just don't want Liverpool to win the title. Mini Bruce says, I watched The Order last night. Superb, yeah, good film. Leper Messiah says, do you think Branthwaite's overhyped, Mark? Price is insane. I think £50 million is a fair price because it's British tax. I think 60, 70 is a laugh. I mean, I've watched him tonight and I've watched him a few times, and he doesn't stand out the way that, you know, I remember Roy Keane playing for Forest and he stood out as potentially world class in a relegation side. Jack Grealish at Aston Villa stood out as, you know, one of the best players in the league at Aston Villa, who weren't particularly that good at that point. I'm not watching Branthwaite and going, you're standing out as the best Everton player. So he's not a £70 million player. Harry Kane's just made it 2-0 for Bayern, by the way, against Celtic. Yeah, it's sad what happened to Grealish, Richard, but that's what happens when you go and play for Pep. He's a flair killer. He's a system manager, isn't he? He doesn't want individuals. Bradley Ray says, if I guess the celebrity for Dublin, can I have a free ticket? Well, I hope some of you lot are going to come. Be great to see you there. March international break in Dublin, right in the middle of Dublin. What more excuse do you want to go and have a good night? Start off with Goldbridge live at the Olympia, and then get out in the pubs around Temple Bar. Absolute cracker. If you want to go, by the way, I've put it in the live chat. The link. Get your tickets, and it's in the video description. It's going to be a good night. We did have a QR code. I'll see if I can get it up as well. If you scan that QR code on your camera phone, it will take you through as well. A lot of Liverpool fans in Dublin. It's United Liverpool in Dublin, really. Although, I was in London a couple of years ago, and I was just checking into my hotel, and this group of fans ran in, Irish. I won't do the accent. Oh, I love what you do. Can we have a picture? I was like, who do you support? And they were all Arsenal fans. Never really used to get any Arsenal fans when I lived there. It was all Liverpool, Man United. A bit of Aston Villa, because obviously you had people like Ray Houghton, Paul McGrath that used to play for them. That's a lovely ball. It's good defending, though. Liverpool from defence to attack in seconds there, and Nunez was nearly in. James Crossett says, have you seen Running recently? Tough watch. I don't know what you're talking about, James. Sidez. Mashari says, I caught my 65-year-old uncle taking pictures of women's arse when we were Christmas shopping. I didn't say anything, was afraid Christmas would be ruined. All right, mate. I think I would be saying something now. Christmas is over. Anyway, Bradley, you should know who the celebrity is. I mentioned it last night. Emily says Rashford is a snake. Okay. Sir Porkstick says Everton getting plenty of shots against Liverpool makes me hopeful with Isaac in the cup final. Yeah, I mean, Decore really has had 2 good chances for Everton and completely missed them. I mean, Everton have had their chances in this half. I mean, talk to me, Arsenal fans. There'll be 1 of 2 of you in the chat. Is it over now? Nine points the difference. That game in hand is gone. Plus, Liverpool are playing a game next week against Aston Villa, and I don't know why. So they're going to end up playing an extra game now. For weeks they've had a game in hand, and from next week they'll have played a game more because they're playing Villa midweek next week, and I don't know why that is. I know Liverpool have got a Carabao Cup final coming up, but I don't know why Villa would be playing that game early. Because Newcastle haven't got a game, have they? Binny says, are you managing at the Sidemen this year? I feel like you are. No. As of now, I'm not. I've not heard anything. Why didn't Liverpool get a second yellow? Says Mr. X. Mate, don't talk to me about the officiating tonight because I'm confused by it. I think there's been good decisions, unexcusable bad decisions, but welcome to a Michael Oliver officiated game of football, I suppose. That'll be a good game next Wednesday night, though. I'm a bit pissed off because I'm going to be watching Real Madrid Man City, but I suppose we could do double. But yeah, next Wednesday night, it's Villa against Liverpool at 7:30 and Real Madrid against Man City at 8 o'clock. I mean, I presume Liverpool is on the telly. It might not even be on the telly. But yeah, I think that'll be a double watch-along next week. I don't like these halves. Why are they kicking them off at 7:30 as well? I don't understand that. It's on TNT, Marks, as footy fan. Thank you. Zach's a United fan. Thank you for your super chat, Zach. He says, I love the United stand watch-alongs. Hard to see Liverpool go equal on league titles, but hopefully United can sort their shit out. Mate, by the time United sort their shit out, Liverpool could be 9 titles ahead of us again. I just don't see a United renaissance at all. But I look at Liverpool and I think there could be a period of domination. I mean, Man City don't look like they're going to get any better. Arsenal haven't won a title yet. I mean, the only hope with Liverpool is that they have a bad summer transfer window and Salah, Van Dijk and Trent leave. In which case, it's a major rebuild. Do you know what at Valentine's Day is? Says Chris. No? Enlighten me. Oh, I'll tell you what, I really did enjoy the Super Bowl watch-along. It's left me a bit tired this week, but I absolutely loved it. It's a shame it's only once a year. It's like the charity stream. When it's gone, it's a whole year until the next one. It's like Christmas. I have watched White Lotus, yes. I don't think I've watched Severance. There's a new series of White Lotus coming out as well, isn't there? No, I've not watched Severance. Oh, God. I'm tired. Moif says, we might as well hand the league to Liverpool because despite having a bad game, they still win. I don't see them losing any games at this point. I spoke about Liverpool before. Their next few games, I mean, this was one, but there's still 14 games to go, so you can't just say the title was over, but I said it was over before Christmas, so I can say what I like and so can you. But it's hard to see where the games are coming that they're going to lose. They've got Wolves on home at Sunday. You'd expect them to win that. Villa away and then Man City away in the space of 5 days. You'd need them to lose both of that and they'd still be 3 points clear if Arsenal win all their games. They've then got Newcastle at home. Then it's Southampton at home. I mean, they've only got one Premier League game. They've only got one game in March, really. They'll have 2 Champions League games and a cup final, actually, won't they? But one Premier League game in March, which is Liverpool, which is Southampton at home. Then they've got Everton at home, Fulham away, West Ham at home, Leicester away, Spurs at home, Chelsea away, Arsenal at home. I mean, the shame is that they're not playing Arsenal until 3 games left. And by which case, I don't think that Arsenal game is going to make any difference. I mean, look, they have got games they could lose. Brighton away, Chelsea away, Villa away, Man City away, Fulham away. But what people don't realise is there's 5 or 6 difficult games still left for Liverpool out of 14. But then Arsenal have got to win all their games. And that's the thing. People, there's no point looking at it like that. People will look at it and go, oh, well, there are 5 or 6 games where Liverpool could drop points. But then I would go, but then Arsenal have got to win all their games. That's not going to happen. That's always the context. You can find games where Liverpool could lose, and they could. But that would mean Arsenal have got to win every single game. Arsenal haven't got any bloody forwards. It's over. I think, I don't want to disrespect Arsenal, but I genuinely think when Man City fell out the title race, Liverpool won it. Because I don't think Arsenal have got the firepower, as has been proved already in some of the games that they've already dropped points in. And they will drop points again. Good save by Pickford from Salah. Liverpool winning their 20th Premier League will officially make them the biggest club in England, says Vincent. Lord McFred says Severance is the best thing on TV at the moment. I'll have to give it a watch. Please do a Crufts watch along in March, says Ardo. I don't think I've ever watched Crufts. Shawnee says, As a gunner, it is finished. Pissing snow here. Where do you live? Where you got the snow, bro? Might not be snow. Might be, you know, something else. Corner to Liverpool. We've still got a couple of minutes left, but I think we all know the score. Even a point would just make it a little bit interesting, but we hardly get any snow in the UK anymore. We had a little, I think we had a, when did we have some snow? I think we had some snow early Jan, but yeah. It's been cold, but you just don't ever get any snow. Like tomorrow, I think it's going to go down to -2 or something, but yeah. Meal prep or takeout, says Mrs. Stone. I like cooking. I have a TV in the kitchen. I'm sure most of you do, but I was watching Classic Only Fools and Horses this afternoon making the dinner, and I really enjoy it. It's quite relaxing. You think about it, the life I lead, it's quite intense. I mean, I love it, but it is quite intense. So having that time out where I can just watch something and cook. It's a lovely dinner as well. You know what it was? I got some chicken thighs. I don't normally have chicken thighs. I'm normally breast. So I bought some chicken thighs, and then I sort of just popped them in the pan and browned both sides. Added some onions, red peppers, garlic, passata, and then some cannellini beans and some black olives. Let it simmer for about 45 minutes, and then some nice couscous and broccoli. It was lovely. But you can't beat a good takeout as well, Mrs. Stone. Tim says I'm straight, but I would still date you. Lovely stuff. Thank you very much. Mark, you should do more watch-alongs that aren't football. The Super Bowl watch-alongs and the charities are really enjoyable. Thomas, I'm open to it. It's just finding the ones to do it. I mean, I like it when it's the boxing, but the last boxing one I could have done was Usyk Fury, and I was away that weekend, so I do enjoy watching sport and other things with you. Thank you for the watch-along, Mark, says Crazy M. No worries. 18,000 watching again. Absolute legends. Make sure you subscribe and get involved. Breast is best, says Ryan. I've never been a fan of bone. I prefer breast to bone. Like, you know, if it's Christmas and the option of turkey, breast or leg, I can't stand meat on the bone. I don't know what it is. I just like, you know, like prawns. I love prawns and I like lobster, but I can't be doing with the whole, you know, it looks really good, and then by the time you've took it out, its shell and everything, you end up with a little bit of meat. I'd rather just have like a prawn steak. Somebody should create a prawn steak where they de-shell it all and whack it into a big steak. Because I love prawns and I love lobster, but I can't be arsed with all the little bits. And I'm like that with, like, you give me a chicken leg or a turkey leg and it's on the bone and you've got to get all the... Some people love it, don't they? They like getting all the meat off the bone, like a pork chop. Oh, I hate it. Just give me the meat. Monkfish is lovely fish. It's like a steak, isn't it? Here we go. He shoots from distance. It's over the bar, you waster. Would you ever do a hurling or Gaelic football all-line and watch-along, Mark, says Shane? I'd have to understand it first. I like bone more than breast, says Mrs. Stone. Oh, yeah, here we go. Oh, pardon. Mania Watchalong says Redback Spider. It's over 2 nights though, isn't it? Brian Dale says, do you fancy our chances against Spurs, Mark? Actually, you just reminded me, next Watchalong's on this channel. I'm back with Robbie on Friday morning. I think I've got a video with Loz tomorrow. Saturday lunchtime, Leicester against Arsenal. Then 3 o'clock, Man City against Newcastle. So 2 Watchalongs on Saturday. And then on Sunday, I'm on the United stand, and it is Spurs against Manchester United. Some say battle of the fittest. This is battle of the shittest. I can't not watch it. You know, if you don't support United or Spurs, you don't have to. But as a United fan, I have to watch it. So that will be that. A couple of Everton players, I think, have hit each other in the head here. We've only got about a minute left. 9:25 and the football's over. I mean, it's a good thing. I might have a big bath. Whoa! 10 years I've been doing this, and I've always worried about my mouth saying something that my brain's not thinking about. And for all the things I thought it could be that get me cancelled, I nearly said, might go and have a big Tommy Tank. Which I'm not even thinking about. I meant a bath. So that's a scary moment for me when the mouth is saying something I had no intention of doing and I don't believe. Maybe it's time to stop. Yeah, just looking at the weekend fixtures. 5:30 on Saturday is an absolute banger. If you're watching this, seriously, drop me an email. I'll give you a list of other things you could do. I mean, Crystal Palace against Everton at 5:30 on Saturday. Why? Why have you not moved Man City Newcastle to the 5:30 game? Crystal Palace Everton at 5:30 on Saturday, but Man City Newcastle is a 3 o'clocker. That makes no sense. Makes no sense. Yeah, we're playing at Goodison Park for the last time a week on Saturday at 12:30, Man United Everton. Week on Sunday, Man City Liverpool. I see even that might not be the game we think it's going to be now. Wimbledon semis and final watch along, says Lord McFred. Seed says, would you do the Bivol fight? Depends what I'm doing that night, mate. I mean, I do like boxing, but I'm not like... If I've got different plans, which I sometimes do on a Saturday night, I wouldn't necessarily watch it. I think Villa could beat Liverpool. I think they could do, but even if they did, that 9-point gap is a 9-point gap now. It's always been 6 with a game in hand. It's now 9 points, isn't it? It becomes psychologically damaging. Do you like owls? I know a cracking owl sanctuary, says Jordan. I need to drop that in my head. I need to watch that Alan Partridge this week. I haven't watched Alan Partridge for ages, and I need to watch that Valentine's Day Alan Partridge. I'm going to write it on my hand, which I haven't done since I was a kid. Jeremy, thank you very much. I could have just done it as a reminder on my phone, dickhead. Oh, Chelsea Brighton on Friday night. I forgot to tell you about that. Yes, I am going to do that. Alex says you should give ice hockey a try. NHL is extraordinarily exciting and the Stanley Cup playoffs are extremely intense and competitive, says Alex. Oh no! We've got an Everton goal! 2-2 in stoppage time. It's Newcastle all over again. Unbelievable scenes at Goodison Park. It's romance. This is why football is so great. I wasn't even looking. I was writing something on my hand. But that's romantic as well. I used to do that in school. And Goodison Park itself is pure football heritage. In the 97th minute, there was only 5 to be added on, but there was a head injury. Everton at Goodison Park, they're coming on the pitch. We don't want to see that. It's the last ever Merseyside derby, and fans are running on the pitch. This ain't good. This ain't good. Get off the pitch, lads and ladies. There might be ladies on there. Tarkovsky's equalised. Scenes at Goodison. Oh, God, they're checking for a possible offside. Surely not. Surely not. This is one of the... I mean, I think he looks like he might be off. Maybe not. Maybe no. I think he's on. I think Van Dijk's hand... Yeah, it looks onside to me. Doesn't look close. This is where VAR doesn't work, though, isn't it? Because now you've had this... I mean, I think that's it on toast, isn't it, really? The last ever Merseyside derby at Goodison Park, they've scored a stoppage time equaliser. The place is absolutely rocking, and now we're spending 4 minutes on a fucking VAR decision, which sort of kills the moment a little bit, doesn't it? And he looks miles on. Doesn't even look offside. Yeah, onside. I don't know what else they're looking at. Foul in the build-up. Oh my God, are they just trying to find ways not to give this goal? What a hit by Tarkowski as well. You mean you shouldn't be trying to find ways. It's onside. Now they're looking at a foul. Goal given, 2-2. Tarkowski. Well, you know, it makes it a little bit more interesting, doesn't it? It does make the title more interesting. 7 points and not 9. I think 9 really does kill it. Whereas 7, maybe. I mean, I think the VAR thing's a joke. You can't be taking that long. Is there a push on Konate? Yep, there is, but I mean, that genuinely is a foul on Konate. I mean, I've got to be honest. But you don't want the goal to be disallowed. Definitely not offside. I genuinely think it's a foul on Konate. I've just seen it 3 times there. Oh, it's all kicking off a little bit in the corner. Don't know what's going on here. Curtis Jones. There'll be red cards going out here. This is all kicking off. Decore. Don't know what happened. I want to see a replay here. He's going to send off Curtis Jones, isn't he? Second yellow card. Well, Michael Oliver's definitely going to give a second yellow card to Curtis Jones here. I don't know what happened. Anyone know? Arbam says never a foul on. Look, mate, I can be empathetic here when oh, he's sending off Slot as well, Oliver. Mate, he's out of control. He's out of control. Has he sent Slot off, or is he can't get it out his back pocket? Mate, this is another shit show for Michael Oliver, I'm afraid. It's embarrassing for him. Did he send him off? Van Dijk's trying to get players away because he's thinking about other games and suspensions here. I see. I know what happens. Okay. I mean, look, Decore runs to the Liverpool fans going like that. And then Curtis Jones goes and puts hands on him. Now, obviously, Liverpool fans are going to be very happy with Curtis Jones for doing that. But Gary Neville used to do that. Like, we've got to be really careful about this because we're going to dilute the game. There's already people saying that people should get bans for mocking other people's celebrations. There is nothing wrong with a rival fan going over to the other fans and giving them a little bit of that. Gary Neville used to do it. So Curtis Jones shouldn't be running over to Decore in that situation at all. Tempers are running high. It's a Merseyside derby, but it's all a little bit over the top. But I don't know whether Michael Oliver sent anybody off in relation to Slot. He certainly gave a second yellow card to... I mean, look, there can't be any complaints about the time added on. There was a head injury. There was 5 minutes, so the goal was scored in legitimate time. As I said, for me, of course, I wanted Liverpool to drop points. I think most people wanted Liverpool to drop points. Liverpool fans should take that as a compliment because we don't want you to run away with the league title. We want a title race. And we'd love to see you slip up. So Everton getting a point at the end is fantastic. What I would say is that it's a foul on Konate. Like, if that happens, I can sit here and say it's never a foul, but I wouldn't be being responsible on a That's Football channel where we're meant to be talking about football as pragmatically as we can be. And if I'm a Man United fan, and that's against us in 2 weeks at Goodison, and Harry Maguire goes to head the ball and gets shoved out the way, I'm going to go losing my shit. So I can't actually honestly sit here and say it's never a foul, because that would be my, rivalry with Liverpool clouding the truth. If that happens to Harry Maguire in 2 weeks, that's a foul. If that happens to Tarkowski at the other end, it's a foul. If it happens to anybody at the weekend, it's a foul. Like, he literally pushes him out of the way so he can't header the ball. I'm stunned that VAR didn't do anything about it, but I think they'd spent so long on the offside that they sort of like brushed over that one a little bit. But it makes the title race really interesting, doesn't it? Because if Liverpool are 9 points clear, and they were with seconds to go, I think it's over anyway. I've been saying for weeks Liverpool are going to win this league, and I do think it's over. I mean, who is going to catch Liverpool? Like, it's the gap for me is too big. I think people go, oh, it's only 7 points, but it's not only 7 points. It's Liverpool have got to lose 3 games for Arsenal to catch them, and then Arsenal have got to win every game to do it. So I can't see that happening, but I do think it was a foul on Konate. Oliver wants every Liverpool game till the final 100%, says Thunderbolt. Football people, it's a foul all day long, says Jokers. Oliver has reminded everyone it's all about him, says Noah. Hoping Liverpool will bottle it, says Quinstar. Fake fight. Soccer players won't do anything, says Tim. Disgraceful refs, says Crispy. Dorku's dad. Moyes must feel like the Messiah returning at the moment, says Ardo. And I'm American. Our sausage roll's really that good, says Tim. Is it a bigger game for Spurs or United on Sunday? I don't think it matters for either of us, Ben, really. I really, really don't. Goal difference makes it 8 points, says Dave. Are we witnessing Liverpool's implosion again? They usually fall off a cliff after losing in the FA Cup, says Fred Army. Look, if Liverpool beat Wolves on Sunday, they maintain that gap. They've then got Villa and Man City away. If they lose both those games and Arsenal win their games, it puts some pressure on. But I think the person who deserves the most credit at the end of that game is actually Virgil van Dijk, because he just doesn't get involved in the moment, and he's trying to get players away because he's obviously thinking nothing's going to change the fact that we've drawn that game, but we can change other games by getting people suspended like Curtis Jones. So I think Van Dijk did a good job there to just get everybody out, because in the heat of the moment, all sorts of things could have happened with that referee. They really, really could. 2-2. Look, last ever game at Goodison Park, Everton didn't lose to their biggest rival. So fair play to Everton. They got the draw. Strange game. It wasn't a classic, but there were interesting moments. But look, I think that the last 3 minutes is what a Merseyside derby should be, and I don't think it ever really got going like that until the end. Obviously, there's controversy. I don't think it was officiated well for either team. There was potential red cards and handballs and all sorts going on. But yeah, I mean, I think there's some strange decisions in there, certainly, and I'll leave it to everybody else. Pessy says he should be suspended for a month. Football people, it's a foul all day long, says Jokers. Right, I'm going to get off. Thanks everyone for watching. If you want to get tickets to our live show, by the way, in Dublin next month, links in the description or scan the QR code. Look at that fantastic ground. It's so sad that we won't be seeing games there anymore. I'm just watching it again here. Watch Canate. Watch Canate. That's a push. It's such a push. They're not even showing it properly. It's such a push in the back. The offside doesn't matter. It's that push there on Canate. He's up in the air and he shoves him. You can't go like that on a player when they're jumping for a cross. I'm sorry. I don't know why they've missed that. I don't know why they've missed that. I mean, that's just... every part of me wants to sit here and say it's never a foul, because I don't want it to be a foul, but you can't do that. Like, a defender cannot... It's like the Newcastle Arsenal thing when Gabriel got shoved in the back and the goal was allowed to be given. You can't... That is a fact. Anybody who's played the game, if you're jumping to win the ball and someone shoves you, you've got no... You move. So if you're jumping to head the ball and you're in the air, you've got nothing to fight back against the push. You will literally be moved away. It was a foul. It was a blatant bloody foul, and it's shocking that VAR again spends all that time on an offside and then doesn't give an obvious foul. But there we go. Thanks everyone for watching. A great result for the Premier League title race. Anyway, and I will speak to you later. Take care.